So you talk about ABX, right? I'll link your post somewhere on this live after it's over, where you talk about marketers leverage ABM to enhance ABS, which leads to ABX.
So
So
many
that's
acronyms. I know. So many
yeah,
acronyms. So
yeah. If you could like tell me about that and the best use cases that you would suggest or you have seen over the years. Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of the whole general theme around this is I was trying to like really explain the how all of the different departments really work together. And marketing creates account based or ABM campaigns, right? And in tandem, sales is doing their thing through account based selling. So those things are intertwined. And then all of those things that we're doing from the ABM side and then from the sales side, we're creating these account based experiences once we get the customer or prospect to engage. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we stop once the deal is closed and the deal is won, but afterwards, we're ensuring that the customers are having positive experiences with us, whether that's on our community page, whether that's just having really solid SEM relationships and things like that. And so and that post is like acronym soup, I can tell you. But the whole, like, to reiterate, is account based marketing leads to account based selling, and that equals kind of account based experiences, whether it's pre or post sales. And that flow, if you just can get into that mindset and adopt the revenue first kind of centric approach, is going to do wonders for you and your sales team.
Can you suggest a few use cases that how it would work? Doesn't have to relate to ABX, but generally in ABM terms.
Like use cases around a solid example for.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've seen a lot is we've tried to slice and dice our target list of accounts various ways, whether it's by persona, whether it's by industry, a bunch of different ways. You can do revenue size, a bunch of that stuff as well. We have a very tight kind of ICP that we go after. And so one of the things that we're seeing really the most success in is vertical, really taking a vertical first approach, right? And looking at some of the key pain points around certain industries, working that into the language in which we speak around, whether it's on the landing page, whether it's on emails, whether it's how we disseminate that information out to sales where they can then talk about it. And we look at it from like a vertical lens. That's one use case that we've seen really well, because when the user then comes to, say, they click on an ad that relates to them because of they're part of industry X, they see an ad that they're like, oh, you know what, that's a pain point that resonates with myself and also my industry. I'm going to click on it. They're going to come to a page that is also geared towards them, and then have an experience that is more tailored to that person. One of the things that at Devo we've wrestled with a little bit is, do we want to actually call out that company? Because there's 1,000 companies that say that have, I'm just going to make this up, American Express and Devo on a landing page, for example. Like when you call out a company's name, right? And I think that is a good tactic, but it depends on your audience. And everything that you run in ABM comes back to who your audience is. And so for factors, for you guys, for example, I think that would be a great way where you would call out a name, right? Because you're selling to marketers who understand that, okay, I get it. I know why they're calling me out, and it doesn't come across as creepy, right? Because everybody that you're selling to, your buying committee, understands the value of, okay, that's a solid tactic. It's going to catch my attention. But when you move into some other industries like cybersecurity, you have to be pretty careful around almost like not spooking the customer. And knowing your audience and knowing how you're going to go about getting in touch with them and what some of that outreach looks like is key. And so if you can just figure out a way to break down your audience in a way that makes sense for your business and what's going to resonate, that's going to work well. And we've done it with by industries. We've also looked at some of the competitors and things like that and how we want to approach those conversations. And all of those things make it very easy for us to translate it into sales and how they can best also use some of that language to portray, and whether it's on calls, whether it's in sequences, whatever it may be.